Hello, everyone. It's Whitnerin, and I'm here on the backup channel to talk about several different families today. We have a few whose campaigns have really slowed down. We have a few whose campaigns have completely stopped, and we have a few who have babies who need help. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about all of them. So today we have Ayman, Atham, Noor, Shaima and Mustafa, Jinan, and Hamdi. I'm not going to go into great detail about any one of these families since there are a lot to talk about all at once, and I want to keep this video at least somewhat short, but I do want you to hear at least a little bit about all of them. So there are several different needs that we're going to talk about today, and I will match the family to the need that they have for ease of understanding and just so you all can keep up really easily with who needs what. Ayman, Shaima and Mustafa, and Hamdi all have babies or infants who need help. They need formula, they are suffering from malnutrition, and they're getting sick. So anything you can do for any of these families will go a long way towards helping their babies and young children survive. Atham and Hamdi both have fundraisers that are moving very, very slowly, and that is critical for their families. Obviously, they both are in urgent situations where they really need help immediately, and their donations make a difference in whether or not they can buy food. So, if they don't receive anything, they may not be able to eat, which is obviously incredibly dangerous for them. Autumn, we've already talked about Hamdi, and this is the young child that he is trying to help survive. But Autumn is also a mother of four, and she's doing her best to raise funds for her family. But her videos keep getting taken down by TikTok. Her channels keep getting taken down by TikTok. And again, her fundraiser is just moving really slowly, as is Hamdi's. So anything you can do for either of them is really going to go a long way. Next up, we have two couples. We have Shaima and Mustafa and Majeda and Zuhair. Both of these families have had their campaigns just completely stop. We've already talked about Shaima and Mustafa in the kids section. They do have a baby that they need to help. However, both they and this fundraiser have stopped entirely, and this one has been stopped for, I believe, about 8 months now, other than a few donations that I made. And they desperately, desperately need help. They will not survive if they continue to go months without getting anything. Miss Majeda and her husband Zuhair, who are the couple that you see above me, are an older couple. They have lost absolutely everything in this war. They lost a son it was their eldest son, and he was the breadwinner for their family. He was taking care of them. They also lost his daughter, who was 5 years old, their granddaughter, in the same attack. And Shaima and Mustafa have been on TikTok for a long time. Occasionally, they do make their own videos, but they did have a video maker who was raising awareness for them, who had to step away for personal issues. And unfortunately, they have not had any real awareness raised for them ever since. So anything you can do for either of these families also will go a very long way. Hey, sorry if this seems intrusive. I realized I forgot to talk about Noor in the section that I meant to. Noor is another one who has kids. None of them are babies, but obviously some of them are very young. You see them in the pictures above me. Noor is another whose campaign has just completely stopped for months now, like Majeda and Zuhair and Shaima and Mustafa. She needs all the help we can give her, especially since she is no longer on TikTok. Her channels were just incredibly, incredibly punished by TikTok. I don't know why, but her channels were getting taken down left, right, and center all of the time. So she just is no longer on TikTok at all. So it's really down to us here still on the app to be able to help her. Anything you can do will make a huge difference, especially to her mental health and survival. Her eldest son is paralyzed in all four of his limbs due to an attack in a previous incursion by Is Not Real before October 7th. And she's been doing her best to care for him in the midst of everything going on with her other three kids. And her husband is no longer with us. He was also unalived by Is Not Real in a previous incursion. So anything you can do for her will make a life and death difference, especially for her eldest son. Last but certainly not least is Janan. Janan just turned 15 back on June 22nd. She and her family have been doing everything they can to survive in a tent in a camp. Unfortunately, they've had a tremendously hard time of it. Janan regularly sends me messages saying how hard they've found it to find even a small amount of food, A lot of what they get is incredibly highly priced and not entirely fresh when they can get it. Her older brother was injured very badly in his leg back in December. Unfortunately, the surgery he needed wasn't available in Gaza, and with the crossings closed, he couldn't evacuate to another country to get the treatment he needed. Her younger brother, which I believe is the one you see here in the Spider Man shirt, has been really, really suffering from the malnutrition. They all are going hungry, but he has really been hard hit. She has sent me a couple photos showing him where he's incredibly lethargic. He can't even get up and run around or move because he just doesn't have the energy and he's very sick from lack of nutrition. So anything you can do for them will keep them potentially from starving. Um, I know that's a really blunt way to put it, but that's just how stark their circumstances are. So anything you can do for them also will go a very long way. It will for all of these families. So I appreciate it if you've watched this far. You can find the link to all of these families in my profile, no matter where you're watching, YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. And I will see you all later.